The old Willow Creek Cemetery had always been a place of whispered legends. They said the spirits there didn't rest, they lingered, waiting for the living to make a mistake. Nathan and his two friends, Eric and Jessica, had heard the stories all their lives. They were just tales, right? A way to keep kids from sneaking in at night. But one evening, just after sunset, they made a foolish bet to spend an hour in the cemetery, deep among the oldest graves. The wind howled through the trees as they climbed over the rusted gate. The place smelled of damp earth and decay, and the ground beneath them felt oddly soft, as if something beneath was shifting. Nathan led the way, his flashlight casting long shadows over the tombstones. "Just an hour," Jessica muttered, hugging herself against the cold. "Then we're out of here." "Relax," Eric said with a grin. "Ghosts don't exist." Nathan wasn't so sure. He had heard the story of Eleanor Blackwood, the woman accused of witchcraft in the 1800s. They said her spirit roamed the cemetery, seeking revenge on those who disturbed her grave. He had never believed it. Until now. They found her tombstone near a twisted oak tree. It was cracked and covered in moss, the name barely legible. Eleanor Blackwood, 1812 to 1863. She shall never rest. Eric smirked. "Let's do something fun." He pulled out a pocket knife and began carving his name into the stone. Jessica gasped. "Eric, don't." But it was too late. The wind picked up suddenly, howling through the trees. The temperature dropped, and a strange whispering sound echoed around them. Nathan spun around, but there was no one else there. Then, Jessica screamed. They turned to see the ground beneath Eleanor's grave moving, shifting, as if something was clawing its way up from the earth. A long, skeletal hand burst from the soil, followed by another. The whispers grew louder, forming words. "You disturbed my rest, now you shall join me." Eric stumbled back, his face pale. "What the hell?" Nathan grabbed Jessica's arm. "Run." They sprinted through the graveyard, but the path seemed to twist unnaturally, the tombstones shifting like a maze. The whispers turned into wails, and a shadowy figure rose from the grave, tall, draped in tattered black, with hollow, glowing eyes. Eleanor Blackwood. Eric tripped, landing face first in the mud. The spirit was on him in seconds. A long, bony hand reached for his throat. He screamed as his skin turned gray, his breath hitching. Jessica and Nathan could only watch in horror as Eric's body twisted unnaturally, his flesh shriveling, his eyes sinking into darkness. Then, with a sickening crunch, he was gone. Jessica sobbed, covering her mouth. "We have to get out of here." Nathan pulled her to her feet. They ran, their breaths coming in ragged gasps. The iron gate was in sight, but the whispers surrounded them, voices crying from the graves beneath. Then, Eleanor appeared in front of them. "You must pay for your sins." Nathan grabbed a rusted iron cross from the ground and swung it wildly. The spirit shrieked as it connected, her form flickering like a dying flame. "Go!" he yelled. They burst through the gate just as the cemetery seemed to shudder behind them. The whispers stopped. The air became still. They collapsed onto the pavement, gasping for breath. The cemetery was silent again. No sign of Eric. No sign of Eleanor. Nathan turned to Jessica. "We never speak of this again." She nodded, trembling. They left Willow Creek Cemetery that night. But the whispers followed them, sometimes in the wind, sometimes in their dreams, and sometimes just beyond their bedroom door.